Yeah, they're all like, really chill, nice people, It's like a real community. It's like old San Francisco kind of people that would live here if they could afford to.
Yeah.
And they found a way to afford to.
That was artist David Brooks and Bhautik Joshi. I'm Jeff, and this is Storied San Francisco. Every week on this podcast, you'll hear from poets, photographers, small business owners, and other San Franciscans, telling stories and responding to the question, what is it about this place? Welcome to Season 2, Episode 5, Part 1. You might remember Bhautik from Season 1, Episode 3. If you haven't heard those podcasts yet, please go back and listen. In November of this year, at Two Storied Nights, a funny thing happened. We had asked Bhautik to show some of his photos in the show, and he ended up creating multimedia pieces he called thingies. David showed up with a mutual friend and noticed something peculiar about one of Bhautik's thingies. In this episode, they talk about what happened that night. From there, they reflect on what it means to be an artist in the city these days. Here's David and Bhautik.
So, I was hanging out with this lady named Nico from Fleetwood. It's like a print studio.
Love it.
In the TL. And she was like, I just want to go to this show, support my friend. And I was like, okay, cool. And we ended up showing up and like hanging out, and I'm just looking around, minding my own business, and then I'm looking through all these framed kind of photographs with like model paper. Are those paper?
Paper. I tell you what. Let me take it out.
Oh, you brought it.
Of course I did.
Oh, awesome.
This is really.
There we go.
Really, this is yours.
It looks like mine.
It is yours. No, I mean really. I want you to have it.
Really?
I was experimenting around with representation. That's the paper model that I did. And
wow.
we made this specifically for you, but we can get to that.
Oh my God. Okay, well, these are wood framed, like recessed in. There's a photograph.
Yeah.
Of RVs on the street, and then there's a paper reproduction of it, like a model. Yeah. And then there's smaller. Are these like 3D?
Yeah, they're little 3D printed thingies.
Yes, green, blue, and red in various patterns.
Yeah.
Strewn about. The first one I saw was the bread truck, and I know the guy that lives in the bread truck.
I love it.
He hasn't been around in a while, but like
I've seen it move around a little bit. I mean, I live in the neighborhood, so I see the trucks around, and I've been long-term fascinated with them. We'll get to
Yeah. He's a real cool guy. He was an art student at the school across the street, and he works in a food truck, I think.
Love it.
And he hangs down the road at that warehouse where all those Burning Man people are. But yeah, so these are all vehicles that we live in.
Yes.
Just to get to the point, I guess. And I found that one. I said, oh, that's curious. And then the next one was mine. I'm like, whoa. Talk about a surprise. I'm surprised, but not surprised, because I live in San Francisco and these things happen. But it was cool, It was cool that, like, someone was noticing me in a good way and was being, like, trying to make something positive out of it. So I thought that was cool. I was very confused.
Cool.
But
it's pretty confusing.
Yeah. So I live in San Francisco. I'm an artist. I don't know how to describe it really. Fine art, from fine art to like media and printmaking. So I try to like do kind of a merch thing, have T-shirts and stuff. And then I have interest in doing like fine art shows though, mostly. But it's less, try to get them at every level. And I also do like a lot of video production stuff. I'm interested in like just documenting everything all around, and cool. I have like a weird kind of skill set that I feel comfortable doing those things. So yeah, I moved to San Francisco because I felt like it was a place that would nurture that. I mean, there's been times that I feel really fortunate. I've been invited to be in like, I'm not like super established, but my first show was at Yerba Buena, so I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
And I think it's because I live here, you know, and people like what I do. And I want to live in RV to do that, so I couldn't pay rent. I would, like when you make art, it's hard when you make art and like try to do another job. It like, especially the job's not close to that area of your brain, you know?
Yeah.
You lose a bit of that kind of juice, you know?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
But yeah, that's my story. What's your story, man?
So I've been here 12 years. Moved out here from Sydney.
I used to live there.
Hey, no kidding. Where in Sydney?
George Street in a hostel for like maybe 8 months.
I love it.
Yeah, and then Melbourne the other half. Yeah.
I love it. You preferred Melbourne, right?
I don't know. I hated Sydney when I left. I was like, fuck this place. Can I cuss? A real cuss? Okay.
That's all right, go for it.
Fuck Sydney. And then I left and I was like, Melbourne's a shit. La, la, la. I lived in St. Kilda.
Yeah.
You know, just hanging out with like backpackers and stuff.
Yeah.
And then after I left the country, I was missing Sydney. I remember it fondly.
Sydney's got this weird sort of love-hate thing going with it, and I think it reminds me, in some ways, it reminds me of San Francisco. Yeah. In terms of that relationship that you have with it, right?
It's like this kind of intense city that's like small. Yeah. You know? Yeah.
It's got that weird sort of like small neighborhood, like everyone like knows each other, which can be good and bad. Yeah. You know? So. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
There's a lot of great food there.
Yeah. Sydney's pretty amazing for food. So.
Yeah. So you lived there for, you said, how long?
No, I lived there for 14 years.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I moved there I started out in London.
Right.
So I was born in London, and my parents moved us to Sydney when I was 14. Had very mixed feelings about it at first, but I grew to love it. And then I went to school over there. I ended up finishing my PhD over there. Just for the hell of it, I applied for a job over here. I just didn't think anybody would apply. And I was super lucky. I applied to Lucasfilm, and because I had this thing when I was a kid, it's like I always wanted to do Star Wars stuff. But I thought there's no way I'm ever going to get into it. So I thought, I'm just going to give this one shot. I sent off my CV, and it was awesome. There was a recruiter over here, really amazing. He took care of me. He looked past the school that I went to, because it was how do you compare some random foreign school to some big college over here? So he looked at what I did, and he said, look, maybe you'd be a good fit. Lucky I came out for an interview. I just thought it was going to be awesome, just visiting Lucasfilm. But I got to the end of it and had a job offer, and it's all right. I'd just gotten married, right? So my longtime girlfriend at the time, we just got married, and we thought, okay, right. We were just getting ready to settle in Sydney, and we thought, okay, bugger it, we're just going to go. So we came out here, and we thought we were going to be out here for a year or two. And here we are, sort of 11, 12 years later. See, I've even lost count at the time.
Yeah.
And it's sort of all right, San Francisco gets under your skin. It's amazing. And that's right, yeah. So my daughter's here, so she's 6. She was born here, so she's a San Francisco local, right? And so, the city gets under your skin, and it's sort of it's really amazing. And the thing that I've been doing is that I count myself super lucky, right? Because I started off... Well, I'm still doing, I build tools for artists. That's my thing.
You're doing what?
I build tools for artists.
Oh, okay.
That's my thing, right? So, it's mostly in software, but occasionally I'll build a thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, occasionally I'll build, a part for a camera or whatever. But most of the time, I'm building things to facilitate artists. And as I went along, I realized that if I really want to understand, how artists work, I've maybe got to try having a go at being one myself. And it's just, well, you know how it goes. You just try stuff. Yeah. Right? And it's all just big experiments.
Yeah,
because they're, in some ways, for me, art and science aren't that far apart. Because they're ways of, finding out about the world.
You know what I call it? I call it problem solving.
I love it.
That's all it is.
It's not even...
It's an idea, something about the world, something inside, whatever. Yeah. And then you try to make it, and you're solving problems to get there.
So I wanted to see, I saw your truck. And... It is, for some reason, I've seen it for years, right? I've been in Potrero Hill the entire time. We haven't moved.
I'm very consistent.
And I love it. You haven't moved, right? And I seen that truck, and it got under my skin. There was something about the aesthetic of it that just... I don't know why, but I found it super appealing.
It's very rare, actually.
It was so charming, and maybe it's because I'm an 80s kid. It was the color, it was the shape. It was it was everything that I... Okay, understand, I'm still a foreigner in America, right? So when I think of America, when I think of road culture, I think of your truck.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because it's got that look, it's got that feel, it's got that. I mean, it it looks like it belongs here.
Yeah.
Which is why it spoke to me. Which is why, okay, when I've taken many pictures of it, right? Because like I said, it's fascinating. And I thought, how far can I push this, right? And I was talking earlier, about what if we looked beyond a photograph. And, the world we're heading into in the next few years is that it's going to get easier and easier to sort of capture the entirety of a thing, or at least more of it, right?
Yeah.
So rather than just taking a photo, you can sort of you can run around it with a little scanner or a camera, and you end up with a complete copy of this thing.
HD art.
Well, it's not just HDR, but all the
geometry. HD art,
oh, right, of course, yeah.
More kind of, there's so much more you can do.
Exactly, right?
Yeah,
so
easier.
I wanted to see, as an exploration, how far could I push this, right? And where would it lead? And I thought, there's no, I don't think there was anyone I could talk to about it. And I thought, why don't I, this opportunity for the show came on, and I normally do photography. That's my thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
For a long time. It's the thing that makes me get out the door, and it helps me see the world through different eyes, right? Because normally I'm behind the screen, right? That's my day job, is right in front of a computer.
Right on.
So the thing that gets me out from that is to sort of picking up a camera and going to see things, going to experience them. But I thought, okay, I've done this, right? So I could have just put photos in, but I thought, no, maybe I could actually try doing something different. So I went around and I made copies of these trucks in the neighborhood, these trucks and vehicles that just these quirky things that spoke to me, that made me think of San Francisco, right? And I thought, okay, so what if I made a complete copy of it? So I started off with the paper models, and I just started playing around with 3D printing. I thought, okay, what if I actually make copies of it as well, right? So when we have colors, they're made up of red, green, and blue. So what if you took your object and you decomposed it into pieces, and you arranged them? I don't know, would it be any good? It could have been complete rubbish. I don't know. I'm still sort of ambivalent about this.
I think it's cool.
I'm not sure how I feel about it. But for me, I was more interested in seeing how do other people feel about it.
Right on.
I wanted to sort of put it out there and get an idea of is this any good? Is this a way of speaking to this? And
I've never seen anything like this before. I think it's cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I've seen anything like it either.
It's multi-dimensional.
In some ways, it's kind of like 3D scrapbooking, I guess.
I think everybody, if everyone's honest, they always want something to be more real than some sort of flat thing,
but
in front of you.
That's the essence of art, though. Right? I think is art. Really good art, I think, is an interpretation of the world, right? So, so I'll tell you a dumb story. So my day job, I do a lot of work with VR video, right? So there's these funny little cameras that you can get now that have got lenses on both sides, and you can capture an entire scene, right? So you can see the whole world around you. You can view it on your phone. You can view it, typically, you really want to do it, so you want to view it in a headset. And there were these first generation of VR filmmakers, first wave, I guess, right? Who had this new medium. And what they'd do is that they'd go to all these different places and they'd just literally film what was there, right? They'd go to a concert or they'd go to a beach and they'd film all these things that you typically couldn't normally get to, right? And you know what? That was kind of cool. But these second wave filmmakers then are figuring out how to do this. But what they're doing is that rather than literally filming what's there, they're figuring out how to stage things theatrically. So everything is larger than life, right? So really good, really good cinema, for example, is one that doesn't literally capture the world. It isn't just a time lapse. It isn't just a literal recording of the world. It's an it's in some ways it's like a crop into it, right? It's an exaggeration of certain things. If you look at really good theater, it's an exaggeration of the world, right? So what you're doing is that you're taking the real world and you're making it larger than life. And then in some ways that reveals something about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I was trying to say, the thing that I wanted to explore here was okay, so if I've taken the world and I've made a copy of it, what does that reveal about it? If you view it if you look at your car and you view it as a toy, how does that make you feel? I'm curious. Because in some ways it's become a commodity.
I'm very aware. Literally, I've heard people talking about my truck.
I love it.
And it's mostly bad.
Are you kidding? It's
amazing. Yeah. It's just, I tell people, I've been through a lot of stuff, and, I just think, it's, when people are bad or mean or whatever, I just go, it's a misunderstanding. You know what I mean? I'm extremely misunderstood. People look at my truck, and they go, there's some weird junkie, whatever. I don't do any drugs except beer now. But actually, I just started drinking beer. I hadn't drank beer in 2 years.
Fair enough.
I've been drinking for 4 or 5 months. I'm super on point regimented. I have a job. I'm very serious about my life. But people go like, ugh, piece of junk, or they just look at this like rusty, weird. It's 1978 truck, and yeah, absolutely.
That's not cool.
It just happens. So it's like, I mean, I didn't see you imbuing any sort of meaning. I saw kind of a conflict, like the two trucks, and then our enemy. You did another model of the traffic, traffic control people.
Womble. Yes.
Oh my god! So those people are horrible. Well, they're not bad, but like they're doing their job.
I know.
And like they do this thing where I'll move my truck. I like follow the rules, and then that day that I move, they'll slap a ticket on and say that I was there for like so there's this kind of weird cat and mouse thing that happens a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mess with them. I just go, I'm just doing my job. I'm like, so we're the Nazis, man, and they get mad. But like, what are they gonna do? But they used to slap. It was like a problem because they slap these like stickers on your window that are like so hard to get off, and I kept scratching my window. It was just like inconvenient. But for the most part, like, they can't do anything about me.
Yeah.
But it's annoying. There's like all these little things that stack up. Like, you hear people snickering. People are like scared. People look at me, or if I look at them, they look away. Like, they have this idea. And actually, I mean, I would say maybe it's true for a lot of people that live in vehicles, maybe more than not. But where I live, it's like artists and like, it's shocking how many artists are there.
Oh no, there's a ton. There's a couple of professors who teach at CCA. as well, right?
I know. Yeah, I know. So I have a friend. He's he used to be like some sort of lead at Autodesk. He has a fucking Ducati. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he has 2 buses. Like he's a very nice guy, but vilified. Someone smashed his window out about a week ago. People stabbed my tires out. Like I'm pretty sure it's like a local person that doesn't want me around. They stabbed my tires out. We've
heard about this.
Yeah, like a whole like maybe 15
a whole bunch
trucks.
Of them. Yeah,
repeatedly. So it's like a really strange kind of situation. I've talked to. There's one couple. I know like 2 couples probably that live here.
Yeah.
I've talked to, and some are kind of like standoffish. Some like seem like they're tolerating me, but there's this couple of like these 2 people, and like they've like spit venom at me, yelled at me,
Dude.
And I'm just like, I remember the day they like flipped out on me. I had a hard shirt, like a giant heart on my shirt, and like you're like, there's children here, and I'm like, what are you trying to say? And it's like they're not from here. They just go like, but I've lived here for 10 years. Like that's like. Usually somebody flips out on me. They always talk about how I'm ruining their neighborhood or something. And I'm just like, I've like stopped multiple robberies, rapes, like crazy stuff. And then, people just, it's a misunderstanding.
Totally is.
It's just a misunderstanding. But it's just, well, it gets to you a bit, but.
I'm glad to have you in the neighborhood.
Thank you. I'm glad that you are happy that I'm here.
It's nice to know that there's someone like you here.
See, we've always tried to make a connection with the locals, like to have some sort of conversation or something about like, hey, we mean no harm, please stop stabbing my tires out.
Yeah.
Please. But there's always been a kind of disconnect. My friend was talking about doing a like park cleanup or something maybe, and having like a meet and greet, something like that.
My wife is on the group that's doing the overhaul for Jackson Playground.
Oh yeah,
you should chat with her.
Yeah,
She would love to, like they do like park cleanups regularly and stuff. She'd love to chat to you guys.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I had a dream of like I applied for Recology's artist residency.
Yeah,
and my dream was if I got it, it's all about like my life here. It was called The Discarded Artist, and like it's really weird.
Sure,
really
cool.
Weird meta thing. But I wanted to invite everyone in Potrero Hill. Just like, hey, stop stabbing my tires out. But there's a lot of people like in vans and stuff. There's a lot of younger people that are pretty interesting. I have a friend I met here. He went to Cambridge, and he's an architecture, his architecture degree.
There's a lovely couple of people who met who, I think, just outside the brewery. And they hang like little gardens out of the side of their truck. And
that's Chris.
Yeah.
There's one that there's 2 Chris's. They both have gardens on their trucks.
Yeah.
So there's one I think he's leaving now, but he had a garden on top.
Yes.
And then there's a bus that has a garden on the side.
Yes.
Those are both Chris's. Yeah, I'm pretty close with them.
They seem lovely.
Yeah, that's the Autodesk guy. He doesn't work there anymore now. He's like with some sort of makeup company.
Got it.
Like a startup. Yeah, they're all like, really chill, nice people. It's like a real community. It's like old San Francisco kind of people that would live here if they could afford to.
Yeah. And
they found a way to afford to.
Yeah.
Really. It's chill.
This is coming back to the theme of like, how do you make it work here?
I don't know. I'm trying stuff out. I'm trying to launch an online store right now.
Yeah.
Like I have a studio space.
Yeah.
But I literally I'm so serious about art. Like I rather have a studio than an apartment.
Got it.
Like it's like real. And it's a cheap space, and I live I want to do a piece for my artist residency proposal. It was called tires are cheaper than rent. You keep stabbing my tires up, please. But I feel like there's something here. People are hungry for it. Creativity is I feel like it's even stirring up more now than ever.
I don't know. I hope that when the economy corrects, it'll happen again. I mean, I was lucky that when I landed here in 2007, it was a year before the bust. Right, the first bust that happened in 2008, or second, third, I don't know. The one that happened in 2008. And I was lucky because, I was working in entertainment then. And because I was working in entertainment, I just watched all these dude bros just leave the city, and all the artists come back in. And for a few years, it was amazing. And that was seeing all the art come back into the city. That was something else, But if you look back at the history of San Francisco, I feel like it's just a matter of time before that happens again.
Yeah, it's like a cycle.
And it's a question of can you ride it out long enough before it does,
Yeah.
How much patience do you have? Are you going to be ready for that?
I'm in I'm in a space capsule, floating in space, eating rations. Yeah.
You're just orbiting, waiting to land.
Yeah, absolutely. I really believe if you're creative enough, you can find.
Yeah.
My whole life is like that. I find creative ways to do some jujitsu on, nothing.
Yeah.
So that's what artists do.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like San Francisco's got, at least on the art side of things, it's got a good soul.
Yeah,
you know? And there's something about it here that really sort of makes it a home for art. Not just friendly for artists, but a home for artists. It's one of the things that really. One of the things that I really... I don't know whether it was a function of my age or whether it was a function of sort of being out here and doing something different or whether it was a function of San Francisco, but I sort of came into myself here, and I was okay with being an atrocious dork. That's just kind of who I was, but when I was living in Sydney, I couldn't really express it. But what I learned here, even if I do go somewhere else, I'm going to take with me. And I'm going to keep it.
Absolutely. Yeah, ignore that. Just make your own space wherever you are. Yeah, absolutely.
There's a part of me that's very torn because I do want my daughter to grow up around her grandparents, but then here is such an amazing experience as well.
Yeah.
And she's not a suburban kid. She's a city rat. That's a thing. We'll I remember when she was very young, we get on the bus, she'd go sit down the back, and this tiny little thing yelling from the back of the bus to tell people to step down because they couldn't get off, And that was, and it's sort of this is her town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's part of what's keeping me here is because it is her town, right? And in some ways it's not about me anymore. And because it is her town, we want to keep that going for as long as it still feels good. As long as it's sort of still meaningful for her to have that experience. To have this, at least I want her to sort of be here long enough that I guess the soul of San Francisco gets under her skin, so it's always going to be there. Character building place.
It's life is.
I guess, yeah.
It's life is happening and it's the weirdest things are bouncing off of each other non-stop here.
Yeah.
Non-stop. I walk dogs, so I am on my fingers on the pulse, man. This weird.
No kidding.
Yeah, man. All the time. It's enjoyable.
That was artists David Brooks and Bhautik Joshi. Check back Thursday when Bhautik and David discuss the changes rippling through Potrero Hill. Music for this podcast is by Otis McDonald, a.k.a. Joe Big Ale. Film photography is by Michelle Kilfeather. You can follow Storied San Francisco on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All the podcasts are up on our website, storiedsf.com. If you're still shopping for gifts, we have Storied SF hats, t-shirts, and koozies, all available on the website. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review the show. Send comments and suggestions to storiedsf@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.